All the developments now in Nigeria. Let's speak to Ayo Johnson, who's the director of Viewpoint Africa. Thank you very much for joining us. Focusing on Goodluck Jonathan declaring the state of emergency, he addressed the nation. He also said he's going to crush Boko Haram. Is he going to be able to?
Well, he has no other choice now. The Boko Haram has actually taken the fight to Nigeria. They've become very, very powerful over the last few months. The sophisticated nature in which they've attacked elements within Nigeria as far back as June, when we had the bombing against the UN and of course the churches on Christmas Day. Clearly something had to be done. So I think the president has done the right thing, sending the right tones. He's got to do something to protect civilians and of course protecting closing off the border area, and of course saying that he's taking the fight to them is just one step off that. It's
quite a bold move, and in a sense religious tensions are nothing new in Nigeria. Do you think that the government has been surprised by the rise of Boko Haram, and what do you attribute it to?
Well, I think Boko Haram has taken advantage of an opportunity that they've seen. There was always conflict between the Muslim North and Christian South. They had an agenda clearly to transform the Nigeria state into an Islamic one, and of course they over the last few years, especially since 2009 when their leader, Mr. Yusuf, died in police custody, and they've taken this draconian, aggressive mood against the government. And of course, what we've seen is they've developed and evolved. And it also shows that they're also getting training and expertise from somewhere. Al-Shabaab in Somalia, it has been one of the groups that have close links with them. And of course,
foreign funding as well.
Absolutely, and expertise, because the style in which they're bombing, the intelligence that's required for them to be able to do so clearly has become that more sophisticated.
They're obviously growing, as you mentioned, more sophisticated as a group and in their attacks, but how much support do they actually have in Nigeria itself? Is that growing?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's growing, but clearly they do have an element of support for them to be able to disappear when they will feel like an attack, when they feel so, to do so. But clearly, when you do have poverty, inequality and justice, and of course large elements of the Nigerian population that do not have access to jobs, which are very embedded in the society, then of course you do have sympathizers who could easily fall into this sort of mindset.
What about these attacks and these clashes between the rival ethnic groups in eastern Nigeria, in Ebonyi state? We're getting reports of 50 people dead there. Not directly linked, but how do you think that will affect Goodluck Jonathan's decision to, for example, keep the state of emergency? Any impact?
Well, it will have an impact. I mean, clearly, the communities are desperate for safety, and of course, he has got to provide an element of support for that. It's going to impact on job creation, it impacts on how the people move among themselves as the days and hours leading on to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So there will be an impact on the society, but he's got to show some element of leadership, and he's trying to do so desperately so. But Boko Haram, it's determining how they will surprise anyone, if at all they would have any further attacks.
Okay. Ayo Johnson, Director of Viewpoint Africa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.